Hey, do y'all ever think that the reason creative types die so young, like the 27 Club and people of that ilk, because the war was always between those who can create and those who can't? And the funny thing is, look around the globe, you can see it. We're splitting like oil and water, and they have to shake us up to emulsify us, right? Is that the right word? But we're separating finally after being so well combined through the most agitating circumstances that they conspired. And isn't it interesting that the people who want to own everything are never satisfied, and the people who know how to innovate, create, and connect to their God and their soul and their art and their mathematics and their science and their humanity, that all the rest is just jealousy. They want what they can't have. And do you know why? Do you know why you only get connected to the powers of the universe when you create? And sometimes even when you destroy, but the one thing creation abhors is a vacuum. And that's all they've become. It's all the inbreeding. Didn't you notice? I've studied the entire timeline, and I can tell you, I know. And I don't have all the dates right, but I can give you a summary of how it goes. When we were born with bigger brains at one point, it was in exchange for pain. The ability to be stewards of the entire planet was in these bigger brains, but the fact is, we could not exist without pain. What a perfect system. Because the pain taught us metacognition. Why? We can't stop it, so we may as well study it. And who were the scientists in emotional intelligence from the very beginning of our species' existence? Was the ones with uteruses bearing children. I'm not one of them. Although I experience the pain of potential, but I imagine the jealousy that was born out of the eventual realization by those few who figured out that they would never be as smart as the one who pushed them out. It's been bitterness ever since. But what's beautiful now is those hateful ones inbred so much in order to keep us down, all of us, it's all of us. It becomes a poison that just started with the one, but it spreads to all of the systems. So it's all of us combined, and they believed themselves so important and literally divine, because that's what prosperity gospel is, you know. A disease of the mind, and these diseased motherfuckers would only fuck with their own kind. And what's so beautifully ironic, I think irony works in this case, but correct me if I'm wrong. What's beautifully ironic is their obsession with possession ends up being their downfall, because the inbreeding creates dysfunction and de-evolution, and they lack the innovation of new genetics and intermixing. Because if you know anything about genetics, you know that mutts are always healthier than impure breeds. And with that pain of understanding came the ability to make peace with new people. Because when you've experienced enough pain, you don't really want to inflict it on others. That's the gift of our humanity, our cognizance, our sentience, our ability to look around and look at animals and plants and ecosystems and say, oh, you sweet thing. Pobrecita. I'm so sorry you're hurting. The pain in your face is overwhelming. And that is the gift of the stewardship of humankind. And who are the bearers of the most pain? The answer already popped up in your mind, I know. I'm not gonna say it. Everyone who experiences pain is valid. That's the thing. Growth comes with discomfort. It does not have to include pain. Pain is a thing that ideally we eventually evolve past, because we can learn and have empathy now forever, because the lessons of our ancestors is encoded in our genes. DNA is memory cards. That stack up together and build. And they copy previous structures that worked and intermix with new code and compare and contrast and try new things. And they come with memory. That's probably what reincarnation is, in my opinion. That you really are made up of beings that came before you. That belief is scientific based, because matter cannot be destroyed. Isn't that how that works? So then, why would we not think it's possible that it's true? Why do we think that we know everything? Why do we assume that our comprehension, finite and imperfect as it is, that our version, our comprehension of the world is everything that will ever exist. Oh, the hubris. How dare you? How dare you consider that you know a fraction of all of this? And that's what it boils down to. It's been a war this entire time. A war between those who understand this poem and AI.